There we go.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Isyour6covered. We're just, so far it's me and TR Prepper, and we're going to be having fun tonight, talking a little bit about everything. I got a giveaway that someone won that we're going to talk about. I got a Second Amendment rally that we'll be talking about through the Daily Shooter that he'll be at, along with hopefully hundreds and hundreds of other people. Let me mute this real quick. Now I can start. Hey, Gimp Geek, thanks for showing up. And so how you doing, TR? You want to give a little shout out?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I got a little bit of news today. I had to work, but I took 4 hours off because I work 12-hour shifts. And this morning, I went and took. Hopefully, it wasn't a fire. He took off.
No, I'm sorry. I just want to bring you down. What do you got?
Yeah. Anyhow, I took my general class ham license. So now I got full privileges of ham. Not full. I'm still restricted a little bit, but this is the one most people get. And, and you talk to whoever all across the world. So I'll be firing my radio up soon. So I'm at the middle. There's a general class. I had a technician. Now I got the general. The extra is the only thing left, and I don't know if I'll go for that or not, because all that does is open up the frequency a little bit, but it's the same frequency, so I can still talk on them. So that was pretty cool.
Is it at the same power?
No, a lot more power. So the technician class is like, you can talk on one of these, which is just local, like what you use in your job. The HF is where, you string up a big antenna and you talk to England or wherever, you know what I mean?
Nice. I knew you were talking about that before, about wanting to get it. We got Blues out there. What's up? TR is a chat slip. Well, that is nothing new. Let me send Blue an invite.
I am the original chat slut.
That's right. No one is better known as a chat slut than TR. Well, there's a few things I wanted to talk about. Maybe I'll wait till Blue's in here so we can all be on the panel instead of it switching back and forth. I know how that gets annoying to the people watching. But, yeah, I got some good news. So I had a little friendly competition giveaway that ended this month. 13 days ago. I finally got on YouTube, and basically what it was, here's an update. In 2014, we saw 20 veteran suicides a day, and it was originally started, there was basically you're seeing people do push-ups, and it was to encourage people to be, understand that 22 veterans each day lose their lives due to suicide. And I thought the number would be a lot more, for the fact that they when they did the survey and that kind of stuff, when they did all the statistics at the time, they didn't use all the states and so on and so forth. So I did a video, and it was basically a video to help promote our veterans out there that are coming back, and the ones that have been in the other wars, just commend them for their service, saying thanks and that and so forth. And each time you would, at the end of the week, you could put in, hey, I got to thank 10 more veterans this week, or whatever the case is. And then at the end of the contest or whatever, whoever had the most, I basically gave to the winner. So the winner was the Redneck Prepper. I'm sure you guys have seen him out there on the channel. He may even show up later during the chat or whatever the case is. But the pretty nice guy. Just through conversations and PMs and that kind of stuff, he really does a lot for the community that he's in, and he's he's definitely I don't know if he's a veteran himself, but he does a lot for the veterans in his local area, which is really cool. So he ended up winning the contest, and he'll be getting some goodies in the mail here shortly when I get back to North Carolina. But I just want to say thanks, especially the Redneck Prepper, and those of you that went out there and did the same thing. But it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat talking to those folks. And it doesn't take very long, but it was a good little thing that we had. It was called #ThinkAVet. And I was hoping that we'd get a lot more people involved, and it'd go epic, and everybody would. No, I'm just kidding. It'd go viral. But no, it was a cool little thing that worked out pretty good. But I was hoping to get more people, but it's hard. I know a lot of people, may not get around people. But I know.
Can tell you.
Go ahead, Tia.
I can tell you one reason that it may have not took off a little bit bigger than you was hoping for, and this is just my opinion, and I'm not down in what you done. I thought it was great. Is there's so many veterans in this community that recognition of being a veteran and talking to other veterans, it's almost like something you don't want to talk about. You know what I mean? I mean, not that you're ashamed or anything. It's like that. It's something that I don't want to promote being proud of being a veteran because I'm a veteran myself. I don't mean it to sound like that. I don't know how.
Well, that makes sense too, and I kind of knew that would happen. It's.
Oh, he froze up, or was it me that froze up? Did I freeze up, or did Rick freeze up?
It doesn't so much make sense, but I just wanted it's still showing network connection is experiencing difficulties, so
yeah, you locked up.
It works out, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not that we don't recognize other veterans and stuff. It's almost like a unwritten code. It's like you're bragging to be a veteran, and so we just don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, the reason why I did. Am I still froze? Blue said I'm froze. You hearing me, TR?
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead.
I just have to go to the pedal faster, Rick. Hey, V-board. Yeah. But I know, flying back and forth, you see a lot of veterans that are wearing their hats, and it may say Iraq on it, or it may say World War II, or, whatever they were in, Korean conflicts and stuff like that. But I always try to even if I'm online getting ready to get on an airplane, I'll run over, say, hey, man, thanks for your service. I appreciate it. And actually, this last time when we were traveling up, the family and I went up to Maine. It was kind of funny because I was in, what state was I in? I was at some hotel and I was down having a cigarette, and the guy walks by, and he was from Vietnam, and he had a Vietnam hat on. And I go, hey, man, thanks for your service. I really appreciate it. And he goes, that was a long time ago. I go, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it was a month ago or, 40 years ago. But it's, yeah, I think, I don't know if you own a hat or not, but those individuals are easy to spot, and they're wearing that hat to be proud of what they've done and what they've accomplished. And that's, us going up and saying, hey, man, thanks. I appreciate your service. So that's my take on it. I was just hoping it would get a little better, maybe help to get the numbers.
Like it's probably I'm probably not explaining it right, but it's not that people that's ex-military aren't proud. It's like, and the reason, like I said, because there's so many YouTubers like Johnny, Matt. There's so many of us that are ex-military. It's like, even though we're not talking about ourselves, I don't know how to explain it. It's like bragging or something, you know what I mean? And I didn't want to say anything when you done that because I was like, well, I might be alone. I don't know. Okay, but here's my Navy hat. This is the hat I wore in Desert Storm.
That's cool.
Got the I don't know if it's showing up, but the octagon, you got a mold you have to put in it. It's metal, and it separates it, and you spray it with starch, so it keeps those lines. This thing hadn't been starched and redone since the 90s. It's old. It's old military. It's old Marine uniform is what it is. It's CBs. That's what we wore. So this is my military hat. Yeah, I didn't go very far. I was only a 3rd class petty officer. I wasn't very ambitious.
You made it all the way to Iraq. How's that?
Yeah. But that crow, that's what we called it. Crow. It's an eagle, but we called it crow. That meant that they were people below me, and I was managing them. So it still worked out.
Exactly. You're still a supervisor of some sort.
Mm-hmm. That's like 1st level supervisor right there.
Now that metal thing comes out of there after you shape it, right? And starch it.
Yeah. It's just it's just something you stick in there, and it's got a turnbuckle in it, and you spread it out, and like I say, just spray it with starch to get those defined edges and stuff.
Gotta have creases, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be out.
Yeah, and our uniform is a solid green, and it don't have the pockets and stuff like you see with the Army and Marines and stuff like that. It was like slacks almost, but they were green, and then a shirt with 2 pockets, of course. And it was the same uniform as the Iraq Army, and there we was in the middle of the fucking desert with Iraqi. I mean, it wasn't the Iraqi uniform, but it looked like it because that's how theirs was. It was just green.
Yeah.
Why green? I don't know. They was in the fucking desert, but anyway.
That's in case there's one bush that you could hide behind. That was
exactly.
The whole platoon had to hide behind it. That was William, the Daily Shooter. I texted him. He's not at home, but I'll go over some of the stuff for him. So earlier today, I watched a video, and he's basically promoting. If you guys are in California, it's a Second Amendment. Basically a rally, and it's on July 23rd, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and it's in Anaheim, California, and the address is 1151 North Anaheim Boulevard, Anaheim, California, 92801. So if you guys are, especially you guys that live in California still, I don't know, I feel like I smartened up and moved out, but the fight's still there. I grew up in California and had to go through all the laws, all the bullshit gun laws and all the restrictions, and all my friends and family that have to go through them, and if you have the ability to go out there and show support and show up, it sounds like it's going to be a pretty good rally. Sounds like there's going to be quite a few people there. They're saying, if you have a concealed weapons permit, then you can carry, but in the park, the way it's set up, they don't want any long rifles or anything like that. They don't want it to be. They're trying to get basically the some type of news, whether it's a local channel or whatever the case is, but to get some coverage of it out there. So if you guys are out there in that area and you have the ability to be there on the 23rd for some support, I'm sure they would definitely love to see you there. And if you need more information on it, go to the Daily Shooter, his channel here on YouTube, and I think it's his latest video, and he'll have more information. And down in his description, he'll also have the link to the Facebook, where you can like the page, which will give you even more information. And he's not the gentleman running it, but there is a gentleman that's basically overlooking it or running the show. It's a permitted event. It should be a very well thought out event, and everybody's basically come dressed as a don't all show up in camouflage and that kind of stuff. It's a amendment, or it's a way to show people that everyday normal people are Second Amendment supporters. And I think in his terms he put basically, it's not going to be a bunch of rednecks out there is what he put on his video. Nothing wrong with rednecks, obviously. I'm in the Capitol, but because I like it out there. But that's just how it is. Did you get a chance to see that video, TR? I know we talked about it.
I've seen the headline like I said, I'm working this weekend. My weekends are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so I hadn't had a chance to watch it. But let me ask you a question. You're from California.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. I think the people in California should fight it. Don't get me wrong. Fight the shit out of it. Fight. And I know most people are probably, I'm pretty sure most people will just not conform. They're not going to follow when this crap goes down. But do you think with the state of affairs in California that there's any chance of reversing anything?
Well, I know I did read something. It was an article, and it's basically a petition against the new laws that'll go into effect. I think they need like 600 or 365,000 signatures. Whether they get the signatures or not, there's a lot of people that are pro Second Amendment in California. I mean, millions of guns are sold to California. I mean, just because of the population and the percentage of people that enjoy shooting firearms and love the sport of it and want to protect themselves and their families and that kind of stuff. And it's basically the politicians that get elected that have an agenda. Somehow they're getting in. There's not enough lefts to the rights or the right. You know what I'm saying? We're getting outvoted every time. The NRA's done a good job of fighting most of that stuff. Hey, Yankee 4. But it's a never-ending battle. I mean, I went to the gun shop. I usually fly in a day early, so this last time we flew in really early. A good buddy of mine, Larry, picked me up from the airport, and we cruised around and checked out gun shops. That's kind of what we do, you know. And some of the new parts that the California people are going to have to buy to be compliant with these new laws are just dumb as hell. I mean, some of the parts, you know, it's basically the New York where the grip, you know, on an AR where the grip would go down, that big evil part, you know, that grip. It's changed to go sideways, and you would hold it like a wood stock. It's more of that angle than upright like this. And then from there, you have to use it like a pistol buffer, you know, on top where it's just a buffer by itself, and then actually run the stock below it on that pistol part. And hey, Greg, and then to be compliant with that's one way to be compliant. You can actually, I believe you can't be over 10 rounds, but you can, with that piece, you can actually have a mag that'll drop free. So like the people that shoot 3-gun in California, I was kind of asking those guys, like, how do you, when you're trying to compete against someone and you have to use a bullet button in a race, I mean, you know, how do you get around that kind of stuff? And that's basically the piece they're having to use in order to have it where the mag will drop free. Now, their other option for for California people that don't want to put that ugly handle grip thing on there is you have the ability to, I think it's called the bullet button 2, or someone, basically the person that came out with the bullet button originally has come out with another design where you have to load ammo from the top. So you would basically pull out the back pin, open the AR up, and feed it through. And years ago, they had a AR when California was before the bullet button came out. And if you wanted an AR to look like an AR, you had to get a California compliant one. And you had to, because the mag was bolted into the the lower, you'd have to pull the rear pin, crank it up, and then load it through the top of the mag. Like
and see, that's the ridiculousness of these laws. That's gun safety 101. Don't do this. You do not assemble a freaking gun loaded. You don't disassemble a gun loaded, much less load a gun. I mean, assemble a gun. Even though that's just a break action, you're popping it down, you're still assembling a gun with loaded rounds in it. You know, I mean, what if you slam it down, the bolt goes forward, and you have a slam fire? Because if people don't know this, a AR-15 will slam fire. I got a buddy of mine that I work with. he loaded up some 223, and he was making sure that they chambered good and all that. So he was just, racking the slide. Had a mag in it. Guess what he done? Boom, one went off. He had a concrete floor, so it put a big divot in his floor and had splatter, hit some of his furniture and stuff like that. Slam fire.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a free floating firing pin. So if you take your AR, which I know you have, if you take your AR, just go through some rounds, put a mag in it, and just pull the bolt back, let it slam forward, and then check the cases. You'll see a dimple on every primer.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I'll have to take a look at that.
I mean, it's normally it's not enough to make it fire, but it can, especially with reloaded ammunition, because normal, at least 5.56 has a harder primer. 223, even regular 223 you buy in the store, it may not. I know the stuff that I buy don't always have a hard primer. Just for that.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. Well, especially.
So there you go. You take a rifle and you, like I said,
boom.
Yeah.
That's their option. I mean, and unfortunately, that's why, like, a California compliant firearm, we kind of talked about this before on a different chat, but I was like, using an AR in a house would be a great thing if you had a normal non-compliant without a bullet button and all the other stuff before these other laws come into effect. Because I think it was actually a Midwest Misfit which just jumped in. But the reason why is trying to manipulate a mag with some type of device to drop a mag to put in another 10 rounds. Hey, Pops Quest. Your ability to do that quickly is compared to a pistol, right? And we're talking California now. If your options are limited to having a bullet button or having a pistol and 10 rounds, but you can reload the mag as fast as you can reload, whatever your speed is or however much you practice, you at least have the ability to have 20 rounds a lot faster than you would trying to figure out a way to manipulate, you know what I mean? Figuring out a way to grab another bullet, push the mag to drop to put an actual loaded mag back in it. So I was like, so even protecting yourself with an AR in California, in my opinion, if you have to have a bullet button, it makes no sense.
Got a fire?
We'll see.
Yeah, but the reason I asked about the laws there, I mean, I know there's a lot of gun owners in California, very pro Second Amendment, but with the laws being passed in California, not just gun laws, just laws in general, and seeing how the demographic is there, it just seems to be I'm trying to think of the right word. I mean, a useless fight. I'm not saying don't fight, but it just seems to be, you're talking to a brick wall, I mean, other than just non-compliance, but then you make yourself a criminal, and if I lived there, I would be non-compliant. I wouldn't give a damn what they said. I just wouldn't do videos on my gun, going out in the backyard and shooting, showing this non-compliant gun. But I wouldn't follow the rules, but that don't make it right. Now I'm a criminal, He's got some radio and stuff going on there. And
let me mute the radio real quick.
Okay, well, do your job, dude. Hey, Rich. I don't know how you guys out there in the audience feel. I just think that's a losing battle. I just don't see how California is going to reverse. I know it's not a good cross section of California, and I'm not a big Mark Dice fan, but if you've ever watched his videos, it makes you wonder. It's like, how much of California is like this? I don't know if anybody knows who Mark Dice is, but if you ever, like I said, I'm not promoting them or whatever, but if you want to see, they're kind of funny, but they're very disturbing at the same time, where he'll go, hey, today's Memorial Day, and then ask people what Memorial Day is. Ask people what the 4th of July is. What does that day represent? And then he'll just start saying, yeah, today's the 4th of July. We're celebrating our independence from China. You know, da 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 da. And people, they don't have no freaking clue. They're like, yeah, you know.
I knew who you were talking about, but I never knew his name. Yeah, you're shaking your head the whole time, like, what in the hell? And he'll put up some dumb stuff about, like, you know, like Hillary supporters. About, yeah, Hillary wants to promote the Quran and all this stuff. What do you think? And they're like, oh yeah, I totally support her. And you're just like, what the fuck? What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, he's done videos, and like I said, he's on the beach in California. Sometimes he's talking to foreigners, and I give them I give them a bye. You know what I mean? But
they usually know more. They usually know more, though.
Yeah, well, that's true. A lot of times the foreigners know more or get it right. But I've seen them talking about abolishing the First Amendment, and people, oh yeah. People are too free with their speech, and blah blah blah. It's like, oh my goodness, are you? And like I said, and that's probably not a good cross section of California, but I bet it's a big percentage of California. Or that's the way we perceive it on the East Coast, anyway.
Is that the same guy that tried to give people? You had the option of Hershey's chocolate bars, or 10 ounces of silver. He's like, hey, answer some questions. They'll be like, what's today? And, you know, they'll say the date. Yeah, you won. Pick one. And you'll have a plate and a tray of Hershey chocolate bars or 10-ounce bars of silver. And everybody's grabbing the freaking chocolate. You're like, what an idiot.
Yep. Yeah, he's done it with just 1 ounce coins, but I know he's done at least one video with a 10-ounce bar, and nobody wanted a 10-ounce bar. They're like, well, what am I going to do with silver? That's worthless to me. I think somebody even said he did a 1 ounce gold coin, and nobody would take it.
Really?
I don't know what I don't know what the option was, but he actually tried to give away a 1 ounce gold coin, and nobody took it.
Hey, can you send Pop's Quest a link? For some reason I can't. It won't let me. Yeah. I got Jen out there with Girls Like Guns too. How you doing? I'll go over this real quick while TR's doing that. Those videos are probably staged. Come on, Jen, you're crazy. We got J. Greg Campbell's out there. How you doing? Pop's Quest, Midwest Misfit, Girls Like Guns 2, Blue down in South Carolina. What else we got? Rich 4150. Hey, Rich, how you doing? You snuck in. I didn't even see you. Let's see. Gimp Geek. He was the original one here. VBorg 001. And who else? Atomic Bulls. And let's see. Well, we got TR Prepper out there in the chat. That's it for now. Got 398 viewers, give or take 380 something viewers. You like that? I see you laughing right now. Sounds good, right?
I was like, what the hell?
If I didn't watch it live, they would have never known. But since you were smiling and laughing, I could have pulled it off. But
well, I was muted. If I hadn't unmuted myself, nobody would have saw that.
No, definitely great people we met here. I mean, a lot of these guys, Well, especially like TR, we've actually had a chance to meet. TR's come over for, what was it, Christmas? Thanksgiving. Christmas, I think?
Christmas.
At Christmas, you know, got a chance to go over to Pop's Quest, meet him as well. Yankee 4 was there. Great guys. We need to get some of these other guys together. We need to get a gathering together again. Be fun to meet Midwest Misfit. Him and his face.
That'd be, yeah, that would probably. Well, not that he couldn't do it, but yeah.
Yeah. J. Greg Campbell, he used to live in this area and he moved away, so probably won't see him for a while.
We've done which I think we were talking about when we was there. I'm hoping we do get together and do a fall shoot. Of course, Rob said, you know, anytime, especially if like me, if you're in town, I got the weekend off or something, and we want to shoot down there, and even if it's just us three,
yeah, it'd be fun.
Just go down there and burn up some ammo.
I know we got to set up a little mini 3-gun. I know Pops has been practicing. He's been shooting a lot more than I have been. I'm on my trigger finger's been twitching. I haven't been able to shoot in like 3 weeks. It's driving me nuts. So as soon as I get back home, I'm going to be doing some shooting. Got a new pistol I'm going to try out. Can't wait to try that out. And let's see. Yep. Campbell, he wants to move back home so bad, he said. I don't blame you. It's beautiful here. I'm glad. You know what? If I never would have moved to North Carolina and I took that trip on the East Coast and saw all those trees. Have you had a chance to go up past New York and Maine and all that and Pennsylvania and Vermont and all that?
No, I had never been up there. Furthest north I've been was JFK Airport. I think it was JFK, and that was on a plane. I just seen the Statue of Liberty as we was landing, and then we refueled and took off. Other than that, I think the furthest north I've been on the East Coast is on the states of the East Coast is Charlottesville, Virginia. That or Martinsville, one of the two, whichever one's further north. But anyhow, Virginia, that's the furthest I've been.
Okay. But it all looks, I mean, it's all beautiful. Solid green trees. Everything's really cool looking. But if I never would have moved to North Carolina and had the ability to live in such a beautiful state, I mean, that would have just been overwhelming pretty. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been even a better trip. But since I feel like I live in such a pretty state, you know, it was just nice to drive through, just to say I did it. And it's pretty, for my kids, we had like a little miniature United States map, and we're circling all the things. And by the time we got done, the kids have totaled 31 states in the United States they have been through. And my oldest is 14. That's pretty damn good. I mean, I didn't even come close to that when I was 14 years old. So that was kind of neat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I was like, dang.
I hadn't seen that many states. I have to admit.
It's hard. I mean,
I've seen most of the South. You know, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida. Like I said, of course, North Carolina. Hell, I'm there a lot. Virginia. And I did take one trip out to Denver, Colorado. So I shot up, went through Missouri, Kansas. But I didn't really get to stop and enjoy anything. It was just like a drive there, drive back kind of thing. I mean, I did it. I seen it, but I didn't get to stop and smell the roses. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, we used to travel a lot up through like Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, do like Washington, Oregon. Like we did a big loop. Utah was one of them, New Mexico. And there was a few pretty states up there. Colorado was one of my favorites, but like I've said in the past, you know, Colorado is turning into California when it comes to gun laws. It's getting a little bit better, I guess, since they're finally pushing back. And that's kind of back to what we were talking about originally with California. even though those guys throw out 105 stick, when it comes to trying to do whatever they're doing, NRA has been a big help knocking a lot of that down. But at least try. It's like if you're gonna get, if you go back to a situation where you're gonna get killed, right? Active shooter or whatever, at least fight. At least fight for your life. Same thing with the gun laws. At least try. At least you can say you tried to do something, instead of just laying down and getting whatever they're gonna give you. So
with the damn politicians, the people that are not gun owners, or they're FUDs, as some people call them, the Elmer FUDs. They got the shotgun and a 22 and that's it or something.
Yeah.
They convince people and they make a good argument. It's not a good argument. Let me take that back. They make a convincing argument to them that we need to outlaw these guns so these terrorists and these bad people can't get them. They're not giving them all the facts. They're not conveying the true statement because they got an agenda. And if I know I'm preaching to the choir, but there's definitely an agenda. They do not want those guns on the street, period. Not because of criminals, because they don't want us coming after them. The entire reason for the Second Amendment. Of course, they're not going to talk about that because they know good and well any law they pass ain't got a flipping thing to do with taking a gun out of a criminal's hand. First of all, he's a criminal to start with, or is about to be. Hell, one of the, what was it, a representative or a senator in California got busted for selling illegal arms to freaking Mexicans or Mexico. And I think he still got his freaking job, don't he? Or did they bust him?
He was a big promoter of not having basically a huge anti-gun guy too.
And there he is selling full auto shit to people.
Yeah, he should be in prison right now with Hillary, but obviously that's not happening.
Yeah.
Did you send one over to Pops? Did he want to jump in here?
Yeah, he said he's had some stuff going on with his daughter. They having a sleepover or something. He's got a room. He's got a house full of little girls. So
yeah, running around. Let's see. Yeah, I sent Misfit a link. If anybody else wants one, I'll put it on there. I'll try to send you one. But yeah, it's like, so those people, it was kind of nice of the Daily Shooter. He had heard about it through a friend of his that they were gonna promote that. I keep wanting to call it like it's basically a Second Amendment meeting, or I don't know what you call it. I said it earlier. I can't think of what the name is now, but basically everybody's going there to hang out and try to come up with ways to go ahead and fight the legislators that are pushing these laws and getting them passed. But it's, if you can get the like-minded people together, maybe they can come up with an idea. At least it's a push. I know they had one the beginning of this month at this, I think at the Capitol building or something on July 2nd. So they're trying. I mean, I don't know if it's doing anything, but I'll give you a perfect example. One of the people that we went on vacation with, that we met up at Maine, he wasn't anti-guns. He was never a person that had a gun, and he still doesn't own a gun to this day. But after me kind of giving him some scenarios and telling him about the world and how things are going, it sounds like he may he's coming around and is looking into it. So we'll see what happens. Even people like that, the first time buyers, there's a lot more people with all this stuff going on. There's a ton more people that that don't have the that need to go out and that are trying to figure out about firearms that don't have much information on it, and the stuff that they are getting is either from from an anti-gunner or whatever you want to call them. So
yeah, there is a lot more gun owners, a lot more first-time gun owners, but people still, they fall prey to the hype, the media, the politicians, you know, because they keep saying, you know, we need to, it's just what do they call it? Common sense gun laws. Well, okay, we'll go with that. Let's do some common sense gun laws. In France, can you buy a full automatic freaking AK-47? Pretty sure you can't. I don't think you can buy a semi-automatic. I don't think you can buy a zip gun legally.
Or a nail gun.
Seemed like some terrorists took out 100. Well, I don't know if it was that one, but anyhow, terrorists had a full automatic freaking AK-47s and was mowing people down. Did their gun laws stop anything? No.
Nope. Hell no. That's the problem, is the only people, well, again, like you said, we're preaching to the choir, but only the law-abiding citizens are going to be the ones that are screwed, which is unfortunate because we won't have anything to protect ourselves. Huh. I sent it through Google. Let me try it again.
Yeah, they just like I said, people are people that are not in the gun world or gun. Maybe they grew up and their dad had a hunting rifle or a shotgun or something, but they're not a gun person, and they don't think about that rifle or shotgun as being. They're like, well, that was okay or whatever. But they don't think about that scenario, especially here in the last couple of years with these scenarios where these terrorists are mowing down people with trucks, guns, whatever else. And you got to wait for the police to show up to even think about being able to fight back. Well, haven't we seen that however many people's going to get killed already get killed before the police show up? Even when they're there, when it happens, mass amounts of people die before they get the situation under control. And if they're 2 blocks down and this guy's shooting at you, what good is the police 2 blocks down? Even though they know what's going on and they're trying to get there. You know, well, like I said, we're preaching to the choir. Rick froze up, so and now Rick dropped out. Okay, so this is TR Prepper chat right now. He tried to send the link to somebody and it killed his camera. I hope y'all hear me. I froze the chat on the outside, so I don't know what we got going on. Let's see. Yep, I'm still here. Am I? I think. I don't know. Oh, yeah. All right. I had to double check, make sure I was still here. Yeah. Well, he's been having some internet issues since we started. But yeah, I don't know. I'm preaching to the choir here, so I don't know what to say. All right, we got some new people in. I'll change the subject. A few of you know, but Jen, Pops, I don't know if Rich seen it or not. I took my general class ham license today, so I am now a general class ham radio operator. I got full privileges, not full, but pretty much full privileges. So I got that done. That was pretty cool. I only missed 4 questions out of the 35. And then when you the way it works, there's 3 classes: technician, general, and extra. I already had my technician. I took the general, and if you pass, you can take the next test for free. It only costs $10 to take the test, period. And so I took the extra, and it was a 50 question test. And out of 50, I got 18 right. But I didn't study whatsoever. I had no idea. I'd never even looked at the questions, the information that's on that. When I handed it in, I told the guy, I said, I think I got 2 right. And he come back and said, oh, you got 18. That's like 40-something%. And I was like, well, that's more than I thought I'd get. And Pop said he got his bacon license. Yeah, now I'm a general and a colonel. Hopefully I won't step on too much stuff. I know everybody knows this, but I ain't even gonna worry about the name. I'm a Kentucky colonel for anybody out there that don't know. Woo. So now I'm a Kentucky colonel and a general. Yeah, I'm hoping this week I can hey Frank L. I'm hoping I can I gotta make a new antenna. The one I have is okay for receiving, but to broadcast I need to make some changes to it and stuff. So I'm hoping I can this week or no, Misfit, that's just a honor I got from the state of Kentucky. Another Kentucky colonel put my name in the hat and nominated me to be a Kentucky colonel. And so I'm a Kentucky colonel. Anyway, I got to make a another antenna so I can broadcast and it'll work right and all that. So I don't know where Rick's at. Hell, he ain't even text me. And I'll probably show a little bit of that. I don't know. I made a quick little video a while ago, but I'll have to upload it later and broadcast it out tomorrow or something like that. Just saying, hey, I got my license. And then show off my rig, which I think everybody's probably seen. I got an old, I think it's a 74 or 75 Yaesu FT 101E. A lot of the ham guys I've talked to say it's a good